Hello everyone, Sexy Beast VJ in the house. It's time for the daily deck and we got a fair amount going on as usual. More weird stuff on Kickstarter, I don't know. There's some decks that I don't understand why people even bother launching them because they're destined to fail. And I don't understand in some cases why they bother to try again. I mean, I'm not trying to say you should give up, but sometimes you have to look at whether or not it's worth launching again. And then I don't know, there's some that I just question why they even bother. Anyway, there's some new decks on Kickstarter. One which I do like is the 1876 A Dorotry Triplicates. This is a vintage deck that's being reprinted, being done by Home Run Games in conjunction with the USPC. And they also have plans to do 3 or 4 other vintage deck reprints, so definitely go check it out. There will be a vintage style tuck case with one of those big flaps, and then a newer style tuck case available. The vintage one, $25, and there's only 1,000. But the newer style one is, I don't know what, I guess there is no limit. I don't know, it's probably 2,500. Who knows? But it looks pretty cool. What is a triplicate? A triplicate is a vintage style card that does not have standard indexes. As you probably know, in the 1800s, when they first really started with playing cards, the first cards didn't have any indexes at all. I've got some reprints that has no reviews on that. They didn't have any indexes whatsoever. And at one point in time, they had like tiny little indexes on all the decks. The Triplicates is one of the earliest versions of the index, but instead of having an actual index, it has a tiny version of the playing card in the corner, so you know what it is. So a 9 of spades, for instance, would have a little 9 of spades card in the 2 corners. A king of hearts would have a little king of hearts in the 2 corners. That's why it's called a triplicate, because you got 3 of the same card on one face. Pretty cool looking, pretty interesting. Definitely vintage. I like it. I like the vintage style tuck case. Looks a little bit similar to a tally hole. And I recommend checking it out. Another new one on Kickstarter is the politically incorrect marijuana cards by a couple of guys that claim they've never smoked marijuana or cigarettes or anything like that, but they're advocating for decriminalizing pot. So they got these cards. They got political figures on the court cards, and with pot type names. I forget the names though, but they got like Bill Clinton and George Bush and etc. etc. They have custom suits. There's the Leafs, the Buds, the Joints, and the Bongs. Cool figure. I don't know how well these are gonna do. The back design is not bad. It's got a bunch of marijuana leaves on it, and then it's kind of got like red, orange, and yellow borders, which kind of make it look like whoever's looking at the cards is high or something, I guess. The box is just awful, and then the faces are, I mean, they got all these custom pips that are weird. I don't think it's gonna get funded, but who knows? And then another new one is a relaunch of the Ho Chi Minh culture cards, which did horribly the first time. It got about halfway there. Now they've got, instead of a $5,000 goal, a $3,000 goal. I think it is 2 or 3,000, whatever, 3,000, I think it is. And they didn't even get 25. They got like 2,500 last time. Now they got a $3,000 goal. I think they're gonna make it. I don't know. Excuse me. It says somewhere on their campaign that the cards were like critically acclaimed or something like that. It's like, seriously, if they were uh, that highly regarded, they would have been funded, but they were not, obviously. And now they're trying again. They're not great cards. The back design is just black with a white star, and it says Ho Chi Minh culture cards on the bottom. slightly different than the original one, but not much better. Not any better, actually. It's got more words on it. And the faces, not great either. There's no pips on them. In the index, they got the number or letter in one corner, the pip in the other. That's the only pip that's on it. And then there's a whole bunch of information on each card about different things. It's not much of a change in the faces. Definitely not one that I'm going for. You probably won't either. On top of that, coming on March 4th from Albino Dragon, their latest deck, the Bicycle Dragon Tome. Looks pretty cool in my opinion. Some on the forums are kind of bashing it because Shane is not there. It's not his design. Get over it. He's gone. He's not with them anymore. And apparently he felt he deserved more money than they wanted to pay him. So whatever, that's his problem. This one I think is much better than the previous one from Albino Dragon, which was well, it was based on a movie. I forget the name, but I didn't back that one because I just wasn't into it. They had 3 different decks, and I don't know. This one, like I said, looks much better. Each court card has a different dragon on it. The back design, more dragons. There is a picture in my group, and you can see it on the forums as well, and it's going to launch March 4th. Also coming in the near future from jpplayingcards.co.uk and Randy Butterfield of Midnight Playing Cards is I think it's called the Lux Deck, or something like that. It's supposed to be kind of luxurious, kind of Victorian style, and somewhat only partially custom because Randy didn't have time to do more, and JP wanted to, Paul wanted to, be able to make it so that a lot of his buyers would actually want it, because a lot of his buyers use cards for playing cards. Go figure. And then there is one more new deck coming soon to Kickstarter in 2 or 3 weeks. It's called the Tribal Deck. It's got Aboriginal art. I agree with the people on the forums. It could use some improvement. The art is not bad, but it's gray. The cards, the background on the cards, and on the backs of the cards is gray. And really, for something Aboriginal, probably something a little bit more beige or sand color would be better, I think, in my opinion. And I think people on the forums agree. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. Anyways, a couple more to the list. The Acer playing cards, which is Viking God themed, has somewhere around 45 hours left, and it does not look like it's going to get USPC funding. It's funded, but they needed $10,000 to get USPC. There's still $1,500 short. They haven't quite been able to get there, so I don't think it's going to get there. And the Origins playing cards has just a few hours left, 2 or 3 hours. Make sure you go check it out if you haven't backed that one already. And that is what I've got for now, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and my unboxing, I forgot all about it today. I didn't do it. I'll get it up tomorrow. I'll see you next time.